I'm so excited for today's video because I'm going to be sharing my go-to spreadsheet functions that I used all the time when I was a school administrator. Whether I was creating shared trackers or for data analysis, these functions made my life so much easier. If you're new to spreadsheets, this video is for you. These are all beginner friendly. I do want to say I'm not a spreadsheet expert, so these aren't necessarily the most mind-blowing tips, but these are the ones that I found myself always coming back to. For this tutorial, I put together some sample data sets, and I'll show you how you can do this both in Google and in Microsoft. Starting off very easy, I always use the filters option, and this just really helps me quickly sort, rearrange, and search for data. You can start by highlighting the first row, and then in Google, you can just click this create a filter button right here, and it'll automatically create the filter for whatever data set you have. Then what you can do is organize. So let's say I want to sort A to Z, you can sort A to Z. If you want to sort by year, you could sort by year. You can also filter information. So maybe I only want to see 6th grade. It'll just pull that. Okay, so now in Microsoft, you can do the same thing. You can highlight the first row and then click this button here, sort and filter, and then go down to the filter option. And it will also automatically add the filter. You can click on these drop down arrows and it has the same features of sorting A to Z or selecting whichever ones you want to take a look at. So that's really filters. I mainly just use it to sort different columns, or if I need to search a specific case manager or a meeting date, then I'll use the filter to quickly pull that up too. Next is conditional formatting, and I love to use this feature because I could color code very quickly, and when you're analyzing large sets of data in a team, it's really helpful to have color to draw attention to specific points of information. So for today's demonstration, I'm going to quickly color code all of the grades. So we'll make A's and B's green, C's be yellow, and D's and F's be red. So the way I'll approach this is I'll click the first cell, go to the fill color and click conditional formatting. Then I will apply it to the full column. So you can just use a really large number and just go past your data set. So that you can see this is column F, row 2, and I'm going to go to column F, row 100. Then I'm going to click Format Cells If, and I'm going to click Text is Exactly, and then I will put A. Then I want to make that green, so it's already green, so I'll click that, and then I'll click Done. What you can do is then add another rule, follow the same steps, so F2 to F100, Format Cells if Text is Exactly. I'll do B this time, and then maybe I'll choose a little bit of a lighter green color. Click Done. And then I'll do the same thing. And we'll do it text is exactly for C. I'll make it yellow. Add another rule. I'll do F100, text is exactly D. And I'll make this red, and then I'll add another rule. F, and then I'll make it maybe just a darker red. So now you can see all of my grades are color coded. Okay, so now with Microsoft, let's say in this tracker, I want to highlight the meeting types. Let's say meeting 1 and meeting 2 are the most urgent. So I really want those to pop and I want to make them yellow. So I'll go ahead and click on the cell again. Over here, you'll see conditional formatting, and we can do new rule. Again, you'll choose the range, so apply to C2, and I'll do C100. And then in this case, since we want 1 and 2, I'm actually going to change this to less than or equal to 2. And then I'm going to choose a format style. So I'll choose yellow here. You can also add your own, and then click Done. And then you'll see it pops up only highlighting the ones and twos. There are endless ways to color code, and it's really up to your imagination and needs on what you want to do, but this is just how I would use it. I mainly use color coding for the grades, and this was to help our team be able to see patterns more efficiently during our data analysis conversations. The next function I love to use is data validation, and this is how you can create drop-down menus and also checkboxes. So let's take a look at Google. To start, you'll go to the data tab at the top and scroll down to data validation, and then you can click add a rule. You can decide what you want the range to be, but I usually just put it in one cell. And then what's nice about Google is you can just type in whatever your options are, and then you can even color code them. So we can just change the colors here. Then I'll click done. And when they click on this, now you're limited to just those options and it'll pop up. If you know you want to apply it to the whole range, when you're editing it, you can adjust the range at the top. Or usually what I do is I just click this blue circle and then I drag it down for whichever cells I want to use it for. What's really nice about this is if you're sharing the spreadsheet with someone else, you can kind of control any errors by putting these drop-down menus in and being able to keep some consistency. I find that keeping consistency in how things are written or look like in the cell can help with data analysis and using other spreadsheet formulas down the line. Now, if you want to add a checkbox, you can just click on the cell, click add a rule. Instead of drop down, you'll scroll all the way down to checkbox and click done. And now you have a checkbox that you can click or unclick. And again, you can drag those all the way down. So for Microsoft, the way to go about doing this is similar. You'll start with data, then you'll go to data validation, which is on the right here, and then you'll click list, and then you can just type whatever you want to put in the list. Option 1, option 2, option 3. Once you have all of your options, you click apply, and then you'll see here all the options are there. Similarly, you can drag your mouse until you see this plus sign, and then when you drag it all the way down, it will add the drop-down menu for each of those. Now, to add a checkbox in Microsoft, the way you would do this is go to Insert, and then you'll see there's a checkbox right here. Again, you can click or unclick that, and then to add more in the column, you wait for the T, drag it down, and all of your checkboxes will appear. The final tip, this is a little bit more intermediate, is called a Vlookup. And I find this really handy when it comes to combining spreadsheets and data sets together. The formula is the same for Google and Microsoft, so I will just do it in Google. So here's the example. Let's say I have a spreadsheet and I have all the information of 6th graders, including their class teacher and grade. Now, on a separate spreadsheet, I have everyone's gender, race, and ethnicity, but I only want to pull over the 6th graders' gender, race, and ethnicity into here. So how do I do that? This is where the Vlookup comes in. So what you'll do is in one of the boxes, you'll click, and then we'll start to type the formula. It'll be $Vlookup. Open the parentheses, and your search key is going to be the information that is unique and exactly the same on both spreadsheets. I will talk about what you can do for duplicates at the end. Okay, so I chose A2. This is going to be the same thing on both, comma. Then you want to choose what's the range. So I'm going to go over to sheet 3. So it's starting at A2. And I want it to go to D, and you can just choose a really large number, like 100. And then I'll do comma. The index is going to be which column in your sheet 3 that you want to pull from. So what's the information you want to pull into the other sheet? And this just goes by numbers. So the first column is 1, second column is 2, so on and so forth. So in this case, I want to pull over their gender, which is going to be this third column here. And so I'm going to choose 3. Then you'll do comma, and then you always put false at the end. You'll close it up and click enter. So now what this formula basically does is AAA is who we're searching for. It goes to sheet 3, it finds the other AAA, and then it pulls the information from the 3rd column and brings it into this cell. And so now what you can do is just drag that formula all the way down, and it'll pull and search for each of these people here. You can copy the formula and put it into the race and ethnicity section. Instead of column 3, you'll see here it's column 4. So I'll go back here and change this to column 4, and then you can see it wanted to autofill, or you can drag down. It'll pull all that information. If you have the last name and first name in one cell, that should take care of things being unique. However, I think best case scenario is for you to use their student ID number, pull that information, and then use that as the unique identifier between the 2 spreadsheets. There's a lot of resources and probably better tutorials on how you can really maximize Vlookup. I found it really helpful when I wanted to see information for one student in one spreadsheet, but the way I would pull the reports from our system was giving it to me in different spreadsheets, and I didn't want to copy and paste everything into one. So what I did was I used Vlookup to create a comprehensive spreadsheet that pulled all this information from all the separate spreadsheets into one. So those are my frequently used spreadsheet functions when it comes to setting up trackers, making information easy to find and more visually appealing, as well as setting up information for data analysis. I hope that you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you experienced the joy of doing something you love today.